Everybody, sorry about being a minute late here, a few minutes late. I had doing getting into a conversation here that maybe I shouldn't have started it at 9 o'clock this morning. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So the December jobs report is out. Let me flip this over. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. Not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments. So no stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. That means I make predictions. I may never get another one right again. And there's a substantial risk of loss if you do anything that I say that might be worth doing. All right. Don't just blindly follow people. Make sure you understand what you're doing. Make sure you have a plan. Like, this isn't just like, I'm going to get in, I'm going to get out when JT says he's getting out. Like, that's not really a plan. All right. You should have confidence in what you're seeing on the chart. And, like, yeah, I kind of think that he's might be right. I'm going to follow that and I'm going to get out right here and have a plan. Or if the price does this and have a plan. So you got to have a plan, all right? And if you desire somebody just to tell you what to do, personal financial advice, that's what we call that. You need to hire and consult somebody that can do that for you, like a financial advisor, all right? I know for those of you that hear all the time, that's boring, but some of you just don't get it. I mean, some people that have been with me for a long time don't necessarily get that. All right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but we're friends. You can tell me what to do. No, I can't. I can't tell anybody what to do. That's part of the whole problem here. Look at that. I thought we might come in a little spicy, a little bit high, a little bit high. Unemployment rate. Coming. What was my range? Anybody remember? What was my range? What I say? What I say? What I say? 4.0 to 4.2. Cha-ching. There you go. There you go. 4.2. Non-farm employment change. Got a little positive. So the average hourly earnings rising just a little bit. Unemployment rate ticking up there in Canada. They got a problem, right? Canada. Trump offered them to become the 51st state. Wouldn't that be hilarious? I tell you what. I tell you what. So here we are, 4.2. I thought we'd come in a little spicy. I don't. If I take the real, what is it, the U10 number or something like that off the report, we have to roll back down here. Go actually get the report. Let's see. Unemployment rate. See if we can go find it. Latest release. Yeah, it's not. Let's see. Whew, that's small text. Let me make that bigger. Let's see. Seasonally adjusted. Unemployment. I can't remember which one it is that they seasonally adjusted, non-farm product payroll sector. Non-seasonally adjusted. Employed and unemployed by occupation. Class of worker. Yeah, U6. Yeah. Total unemployed plus all persons marginally attached to the labor force plus employed part-time plus blah, 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 blah. 7.8. So that's probably the real number. That's the real unemployment rate right there, or closer to it. And let's see. Yeah, more closely relates to Canada. All right. Yeah. Hey, I mean, it'd be nice to be able to go to Mexico, like, and just be part of the United States, wouldn't it? I mean, come on. You can go down there. I mean, it'd take be a lot of cultural adjustment. But it'd be kind of cool to just be able to, I mean, be like one of the biggest countries in the world. It'd be pretty cool. But in the same respect, though, it's like it's a different approach to becoming one government across the whole world. It's kind of like Trump's still on the same plan as all the other crap out there. When you look at it that way, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, welcome everybody. So the jobs reports just kind of ticking up a little bit, kind of expected. The employed persons, even for seasonally adjusted, that's still not great. It's a downtrend. Jobs are not looking as spicy. We're drifting off. That month got pretty low too. So I guess we'll see what happens moving forward. It's kind of like the last one we have for the new year. We'll get another jobs report beginning of January, right before the inauguration. This puts the wraps on the first week. So we got 2 more good solid weeks left in December. One of those is FOMC right there. Yeah. So coming up next week, we have, got CPI and PPI. So that'll probably be a little spicy. Maybe. Let's see. Retail sales, interestingly enough, aren't in there. Usually we got CPI, PPI, retail sales. So I guess they kicked the can down that next week, maybe. Yeah, right there. Retail sales on Tuesday, right in front of the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. I don't know. If they cut rates, I think we're inviting problems. I think they should just hold the rates steady. Just fix it and quit tinkering. Quit messing with stuff. I mean, let's be honest. Anyway, I think we're heading down a path of a problem, but there. Now this week, the following week, right here, while we get some numbers. Remember, Wednesday is pretty much shut down across the world. Thursday will be back open. Tuesday is a early close in the market. It's a 1 p.m. close, so we get 1 p.m. close. Christmas Day closed. Back open Thursday. I'll be live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then the following week, I'll be live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to take Christmas Day and New Year's Day off like I always have. So, all right. Everybody good on the rest of the month? Ask me any questions in the chat. And if you're not on the chat, well, you know what? Click the button over here. Be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, you can chat with me. And that only works while I'm live. If I'm no longer live, you're going to have to leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to you. Sometimes my YouTube app notifies me right away. Sometimes I find it in my email half a day later or a day later. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot to respond to these. And then I pop up the app and I'm like, why didn't it pop up? It's kind of like if you click the bell with the notifications. If YouTube thinks you'll watch it, they'll give you notifications. But if they don't, they won't give you a notification. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but yeah, you tell me. Anyway, Bitcoin hit 100,000 yesterday and then promptly went back below 100,000. Yeah. Short sellers attacked. There was a large, as I talked about, and then people were talking about in the chat yesterday, there's about $5 billion worth of shorts sitting at 100,000. And I think instead of letting themselves get liquidated, they doubled down and pushed this back down in the short term. I think that's what happened. I think they really doubled down. You saw a lot of the proxies get slammed too. I mean, look at that. That went right back down as fast as it came up. I mean, look at that. That's look at that. Right up, right down. I wasn't taking any action yesterday based on that at all, because I think that was just a game farce, if you will. So, There you go. That's what do we got right now? Caution is what we have. We're sitting at that 15-minute roadmap line. If we can break through, good. If not, probably going to get more correction. So that's what we got cooking right now. And this is interesting. When the futures market closed, look at the right there. Bitcoin very rapidly flushed out while that futures were only closed for an hour. They were closed from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern. You know, it's 4 to 5 p.m. Central, 3 to 4 p.m. Mountain, and 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific. And wherever else you are in the world, you can do that. They were closed for an hour, and Bitcoin moved that much. And then when the futures market reopened, right there, it's kind of interesting to me that we see that a lot. We see a lot of gaps in this particular futures market. It's kind of like the futures market for Bitcoin holds the price down, and then once the futures market closes, the spot market moves. You know, like right there, you see a gap up. Right there, you see a big gap down. To me, it's kind of interesting. Look at that. When the futures market was closed, another gap right there. We see a lot of gaps. So that 1 hour time when the futures market's closed, and it's closed on Saturdays also, it allows Bitcoin to move in the spot market. So the futures do have a huge influence on the Bitcoin market, apparently. But once it's not there, look at that flush that occurred right there. 5 p.m. Craziness. It's kind of weird, isn't it? You can let me know in the chat if you think what you think about that. But channel members, thank you all for being here, being channel members for YouTube. I know not everybody's happy about channel memberships, but for those that don't care, those that choose to support me, thank you very much. Just helps make this whole thing work. Ivan, Sergio, Goose, Rex, Arturo, Dylan, Sledge, Svenborn, Gayton, Rob, David, Scaglione, Ted, General Rush. Good to see you as always, sir. Joseph, Darren, Ted, Cliff, Tom, from Hangers to Happiness, Gary, Don, Jim, Rongamer. Thanks for being my friend, man. Diane, Kevin, Dan, John, Logan. I appreciate all the channel members. All right. Just want to stop. Really, I really do appreciate it. Like this, I can't do all this without you. It's without you and all the other viewers too. Like, even if you're brand new here, can't do it without you. I got to have new people. I got to have established people. I got to have super fans. I got to have everybody. And, like I said, hopefully you find this entertaining. Now, there's a problem out here. There's a problem. Before we jump into anything else, I know crypto's super hot and spicy. We've got a problem. My man Kramer did something yesterday. I got to pull this up. At least I'm going to do a screenshot here. Look at this right here. Jim Cramer, this was yesterday. I think Tesla goes much higher. It probably goes to 500. He jinxed us, man. Jinxed us. This might be time to lighten up on Tesla a little bit if you're super long. This is inviting a correction right here. Gotta share it. I gotta share it. Gotta share it. Why is he messing around here? So he put it out there, so we gotta tell everybody. Gotta say it. I can't. If you ignore it, you're doomed and destined to suffer the consequences. But right there, we're coming into that triple resistance zone too. So maybe there's something to all this right here. His timing is impeccable. There's probably a resistance zone here, and we may see a rapid rejection from here before we can go up here. All right. Everybody cool with that? Just want to throw that out there. Yeah, dang it, Jim. I was like, son of a... I even showed Wrongamer last, you know. For those of you who don't know, Wrongamer works for Tesla. And I showed him last night. I was like, son of a... He used more colorful words, but why? Why, Jim? Why? Just stay out of it. Anyway. All right. It's kind of funny to poke fun at, but, you know, he is wrong. Like, when he puts stuff out there, it tends to rip us. I mean, he says Bitcoin's trash, and we freaking pop it. You know, he says it's time to get all in Bitcoin, and then it plummets. Just stay out of Bitcoin, Jim. Stay out of Bitcoin. Just don't talk about it. It's right. Just don't talk about it. All right. Overnight. So I like to look at the S&P 500. I like to look at the futures for S&P 500 to kind of show me what's been going on overnight. And we kind of topped out and had a big flush yesterday. Now the jobs report, a pop, right? Got a little pop, but we need to talk about this. So NQ hit my target pretty solidly yesterday, right there. You see it. We hit it over here, then we reaffirmed it right here and promptly pulled back. I sold my TQQQ. I just want to throw that out there, everybody. I got spooked, and I know it's highly likely to go hit the target. Highly likely, based on history. I was profitable. I had more money probably tied up in it than I should, and I closed it. I got that little bit left. So I closed it. It's probably got $6 upside to go. I probably should have stayed. Probably should have kept some of it, but I didn't. I just booked it out. So that's just want to let you know. For those of you that have been following me, I talked about this trade for months and months now. I got out. I closed it. Didn't like the fact we sat there for 2 days and weren't getting on up there while NQ hit the target. NQ was kind of what I was banking on, hitting the target. We hit the target. So I'll close that. And back to S&P, which looks almost identical here to NQ, except that we're at much higher levels. That 1618 level, let's pop back up to the daily. We're right at the 1618. Like this is reason number 2 why I closed TQQQ. Right there. Been talking about that level for, gosh, since we made this bottom over here. Been talking about this level and this level for a long time. Guess what? We're there. It's now time to start thinking about what's next. All right. This level, 75% likely. This level was 70% likely. This level, only like 35% likely without touching this orange line again. If you don't have the orange line, it's called the roadmap line. Links in the description if you want to just click an easy button, or you can click on my channel homepage, you know, after we're done here. Go watch the video I have pinned to the channel. It tells you all about the roadmap line. All right. Essentially, it's a support resistance line based on some EMAs, and it works. Why does it work? Who cares? It works. All right. We tend to bounce off of it and go on epic runs. We tend to do that both up and down. And we bounce off the bottom and go down for extensions. So I use it both ways, combine some other stuff, and we predict where the market's going. But right now, we're hitting extensions. Now, the next level up here around 6,600. Been talking about that level as a potential maximum. I expect to go below 4, all the way down. You know, I know that's 47. We're talking about below 4 before we go above 7. So I think there's a big brick wall here. I don't think we can go above it. I think we're going below 4 before we go above 7. What's the reasons? It's just price action. All right. Price says we're likely to get a large retrace before we can go. I mean, look at this. These little squeaks higher are getting less and less. And when we do that, when we get these less and less, we tend to do a big correction. Then we come up, we get these less and less, and then big correction. These little guys are getting smaller. Bigger correction. So the first line of support is going to be right in here. And then if we get below it, which we held it last time, kind of held it a year ago, kind of bounced up, got me concerned, and then we came right back right there, right? Then we went up, up and away. But over here, eerily similar to what we're doing right now. We popped down through it, back tested it again, and went on to flush for 10 months. Now, this one also looks very similar to what we just did. This is, a lot of people are saying how this looks eerily similar. Like, look over here. The time between is not perfect, but look, 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce. We got those little extensions. Broke below, bounced off, and went down. You can say, oh, it's because of a virus or whatever. The chart needed a correction. Just happened to line up. That's how I was ready. I'm sitting slightly ready now also. We got a little one over here. Watch when we get to the roadmap line. We're going to get there. It's going to happen again. We're going to get a flush. It's been over 200 days since we had a 5% down in the markets, in this S&P 500. Over 200 days. That's a long time. We got to roll back kind of a ways to see another one. We might have one of these in store. Last for a while. $57% retrace. You don't think the S&P can do a 57% retrace from where we are? Did one right there. How about this one? %50 retrace. All right, and this is dose of reality time. Like, this is, we're getting near the top. Then we're going to retrace. What does a 50% retrace do to us right now? Ouch. All right. Be careful out there. Be careful out there. Like, holy cow, that takes back most of the last few years. Yeah, most of the last lot of years. I mean, possibly we could go as deep as a 618, or even, you know, look at that. Basically a 618 takes us back to the bottom of COVID. Everything we did since COVID could just be wiped. Not saying we go that fast. I'm just throwing this out there, all right? We tend to correct very quickly. Then a year or two, and then it takes a long time to work back out of it. Probably going to do another one of these. This one may be even bigger. throwing it out there. We need to be ready for that, okay? I think it's getting close. The market's just, there's just a lot of things that aren't clicking for me in the market right now. So diving on down though, looking at, is this the top or is it not the top? Here's the thing to watch. That high, that low. We're in this resistance zone. If we can get continuation higher, moving on up, going to fully touch that 618 level. Now this is the level to watch right here. This 618, 1618. Extension of the last big pullback to the roadmap line. It's right in there. If we react negatively off that, can lead to a bigger down. Starts on the small time frames and works their way up. 30-minute, we bounced. That can take us a little higher. 1 hour, we can go down and hit it. We haven't been there since back over here in November, a few weeks ago. 4 hour, we were there in November. Daily, like we talked about, we were there in August. Weekly, this is where it starts getting scary. Jump up to the weekly chart. You can do a 3-day if you wanted to, but weekly. Last time we were there, March 23. And you can see this whole correction took us back down to the weekly. All of 22 just took us down to the weekly chart. And we found a bottom and worked our way off of it. How does that relate to where we are now? We're up here in no man's land. We could possibly go try that 7,000 area, but we're up here at the point where we may correct. It's just math, all right? Just math. Look right here. This high, this low. I click sloppy. We stopped just north of the 1618, and retraced back down to the breakout. Yeah, right there, we retrace the breakout, go on the extension. We're at the 272 line from COVID. 1.272. That freaks me out a little bit. We tend to see retraces. And then we hold that area if we're going to go higher. That's right around the 4,000. Monthly. Probably don't have a roadmap line. Yep, yeah, there it is. Look at last time we were there. A while ago. Back in August 2011. Draw the fib line there. Look where we are. It's a 2618. This is why I am kind of scared about these levels right here. Everything's coming together. Yeah, we ran up 1272, ran up 1618, ran up, rejected off the 272. Now we're at the 2618. And you can let me know in the chat if you sufficiently weirded out by these numbers yet. But yeah, that's I don't know. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. Once I figured out how to do this, it like started clicking. So in Q, we can invite a bigger correction here also. Jumping back down, look at the lower time frame where we're at right this moment. Got this high, got this low, sitting there, and it looks likely we're going to push this on up. If I was going to bet on it, I bet we push it right on up here, and then we may get another correction. But we'll talk about the bias for the day here in a minute. Russell is looking more bearish right here than anything else, any of the other two indexes. Still in a downtrend, pretty significantly. Even that dip, like couldn't keep it. So far, we're respecting the downtrend of highs. This might be the canary that tells us we're going to roll it on down. It's one to keep an eye on. Start getting below that 2400 area, and it might lead to something bigger and develop very quickly into something bigger. What's the reason? What's the excuse? I don't know. Don't really care at this point. But we may be heading down to this 2200 very quickly. Daily roadmap line. And then if that doesn't hold, I mean, this held back here. If it doesn't hold, we could be heading on down pretty severely on the Russell. Caution on oil. We're getting below the uptrend of lows, but not below that one yet. If we get below that one, we're going on the big flush. Right, this is the first warning sign. This is your opportunity to potentially add a short. If we break back up in here, you close it, you took a loss, you take your lump. Right here, if we get below this, it's game on. We'll probably do a big flush and then maybe be really fast. All right, ways to play. SCO, UCO, USO, different ways to play. SCO is a short. UCO is a, SCO is a, let's pull it back up. This is ultra short, leverage short. Right here, this will pop as oil plummets. Ultra, be careful on leverage. UCO, this is ultra long. So this one's going to plummet along with oil. Buy puts here, SCO, possibly calls here. You tell me. And then USO is just the US oil fund, no leverage. As this plummets, so too will USO. So puts would be the operative here. You could hold shares of SCO. You could do puts on UCO. Be careful playing options on leverage. That's leverage on leverage, and it cuts both ways. If you're wrong, you're really wrong. Really, really wrong, really, really fast, usually. So be careful there. Opportunity, though, with oil breaking down the range. That's the first red sign. Now we have returned it very quickly every time in the past that we've gotten down to this level. So if we don't return it very fast, it can develop into a bigger down. It's the opportunity on oil. I may actually play that. I'll have to think about it. Termite Trading Lab, I'll let you know if I build a position. I'm the kind of degenerate gambler that may actually put at least one contract on that just to see if I'm right. Because I like to do that kind of stuff. That could be a nice potential right there. And that can develop into something even bigger. Something down here to the $50 area. And for those of you that don't think we can go down like that fast, should take a look back over at some of the volatility over here. Look at some of these giant dips. Even back way before COVID, we get giant rips down. Like oil just loves to rip down very quickly. So the potential. And you can play, if you're in the futures market, you play MCL if you don't want to play CL. And GC. Testing my patience here. Grinding in that range. We're almost to the end of the range. Can we pop or do we drop? We're just drifting sideways, pushing the bottom of the box. But this, we see a fake out a lot of times. So is this a fake out and we pop? Or do we get that retest of the box or retest of the wedge and drop down to the roadmap line where we missed a couple weeks ago? Don't know. Neither one's high probability at the moment. This is a highly unreliable pattern. It's kind of like flipping a coin. When it goes, but when you're sitting here trying to guess, extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. And it can just continue sideways. It doesn't have to pop. You can continue sideways out of the wedge too. Entirely possible. Bitcoin, we already talked about. Hopefully getting back above 100. See. Hopefully that was just them playing games and we're going to game on back higher. Ethereum, actually trying to get the breakout going. Trying really hard. There's the level right there. Pull it across. This is the key level at the moment. The highs from back here in March. If we can get above that, we're probably going for the all-time high up here from 2021. We get above that, extension time, baby. 6,000, 7,000. That's 6,000 and then 7,000 above that, 7,500. We're going for on Ethereum. Dollars coming back down to the resistance zone. Push lower, then rejecting a little bit, but we're probably on a path to come back to the roadmap line right here on the dollar. NKD just rejecting, breaking. Oh man, come on. Holding the downtrend so far. Say what you want to about it. Next support, back at the roadmap line, bottom of the box. Then we can try again. Now, if it can break above here, game on for going higher. But if we respect it, back to here, then we'll try again. Sometime in another couple of weeks, probably. This is global liquidity. If you're new, you haven't heard me say this, I watch this as global liquidity. And right now, global liquidity is not supporting a big up or a big down. And if we're getting near topping out in the S&P and the NASDAQ, and this starts breaking down below the bottom of the box, we're setting up for a bigger flush event. It's something to, I keep kind of a pros and cons list. For lack of a better term, it's like a market going up, market going down kind of list. And I keep it mentally. I don't have it written out. I can't give it to you. I sit here and look through all these things. I'm like, all right, global liquidity, that's one for the negative column. These S5FIs, their stocks above their 20-day, one for the negative column. Stocks above the 50-day, another one for the negative column. Stocks above the 200-day, another one for the negative column. So when I say it's time to be careful, like the negative column is stacking up higher odds than the reasons we should go higher. The market can remain irrational, but we get enough in the negative column, 200 days without a 5% correction. That's another one in the caution column, negative, possible. So, all right, I go pull everything moving $2 or more up in the pre-market and put it on the gainers list. I'm going to grab everything moving $2 or more down in the pre-market and put it on the decliners list, which is not very long today. And we go hunt for opportunities. Now, Ulta here, I discussed this a while back, that if we break above the 618, we are set to potentially rally up to the 620, possibly even 670 area. Very nice upside potential. Lulu, look at that. Finally doing it. That one has the potential to go up here to 700 to 800. Vive. Well, breaking out finally. This has not been one I was very interested in because of this sideways consolidation for the last 2 years. Finally breaking above. If we can get the daily close above this 618, we're probably setting up a longer term. Now look how long this took to correct. August 21, October 22. It's over a year. Then it took us another year, 2 years practically, to get back above the 618. So this could take another 1 to 2 years to finish this move up to the targets over here. That one's a slower mover right there. Docu, nice. I was playing this before, looking for the breakout. I gave up on it at that level right there. Now we're getting ready to do some extension, boom action. got a gap down that we're pushing through that gap down. That big gap down over there, finally pushing through. This can go up to the next resistance is going to be that gap down right up there around 200. This may very quickly go from 1 to 200 up to that other zone. Very quickly is all relative, could take a few months. Very quickly on this time frame. Look, August 21 high, lowest low, October 23. So that was like over 2 years. So very quickly would be, something under 2 years to get back up in here. Maybe even 6 months. BRK or RBRK rubric. That's just being ridiculous. No roadmap line, no nothing, no history. Can't really do anything with it the way I trade. GitLab, that looks like we're on the path to potentially break out and go up here to this 120, 160 area. Tesla, we already kind of talked about. We're coming into this triple resistance zone. If we get above it, 500 is a real target. Like, that's been my target. Maybe one of the writers for Jim been listening to JT. I don't know. You tell me. Still looking for 500. BLTE, probably coming back to the roadmap line. MDB. If you are a writer for Cramer, just give me a shout out. Hey. Like, hey, popular YouTuber, or obscure YouTuber, whatever you want to say. MDB, there's the resistance, and with this pattern coming into the 618, so we've got a resistance right there. Possibly go down. That's the thing about being on YouTube. Like, you never know who's watching you. Like, hey, Elon can watch this, and there's 5 minutes of doing whatever. You never know who's watching you. I do appreciate everybody watching me, though. App, just going ridiculously crazy. There's no real projections here. This lowest low is kind of like the reset points, little pullbacks, and then just going exponential. It's kind of crazy right now. And this move here projected off of there, we may see 445 resistance. It's really grabbing at straws right now on an app. There's just no pullbacks I'm a trend pullback continuation person. That's how I do my targets. And with no pullbacks, there's no real way to project the target. MSTR, chopping around with Bitcoin. Yesterday was pretty vicious. I think that was a short attack. I think this caught a lot of people by surprise, a lot of people with big money, and they needed that to go back down. That's what the chart says to me. All these charts. MSTR says that. MSTX, MSTU, MARA, all of these, somehow the market got caught, exposed, and they pushed it right back down where they needed it to be. That's what happened. You don't see it all the time, but you do see it happen. The market got caught, and powers that be pushed it. Very coordinated effort, probably pushed it right back down. BAH. You can say manipulation if you want, but I just think it was a group effort to push it right back down where it was. That's just chop after hitting the target, right back to the roadmap line. It's got some work to do to go up again, that high, that low. We've got resistance right there, that 168 to go up to 200. AGX probably coming back down to the roadmap line. ACN, it's got potential to break out, but we rejected that gap. If we can get through 407 on the upside. Coin, that one rejected also. It looked like it was going to break out and got slammed right back down. 427, the next upside target. PTIR, let's see. Let's just leverage PLTR. And we're at the target, so I would be very cautious on PTIR at this point. It's inviting a correction. we're at that resistance point. Now, the way I've done this fib line here to project this is sketchy because this is the lowest low, and anything before that doesn't really matter anymore. Like, that's all, you know, no, doesn't really mean anything. So these fib levels here don't really mean a lot. What is more meaningful is the projections off the low, and possibly we're getting up there. Possibly we could go to 111 on PLTR. Possible. But that's still not a great way to do the fib line. So, and funny enough, you do it from there, it's, you know, the 1618 or the 1272, both at 111. So 111 seems to be kind of a target zone. PTIR, how would you project that to PTIR? You go from here to here, 44%. Jump over here, 2x leverage, that'd be 80%. Here to here, you know, roughly 200, between 200 and 250, probably. EPAM, just filling the gap. Do. That's a lot of O's on do. That's below the roadmap line. Be careful. This looks like it could develop more downside. Elf Beauty, firing off alert there a minute ago. That was my alert that was breaking through the roadmap line. I'm going to set an alert at the top of that. I might pick up a position on this. There's the opportunity for this to rock and roll back up here. I need some money back that they stole from me over here. DPST, and we topped out. I've said that for a while, that this looked like we were topping out. All this action right here, this may roll back to the roadmap line. Be careful on that one. ASAN, nice pop. Still not indicating a reversal yet. Resistance is futile, is sitting right there. MSTU, that's 2x leverage on MSTR. Just chopping around. Shopify, probably heading on up. Here's our big resistance points coming up in here. We're just getting into the bottom one. Next one up 140, next one up 180. And if we can go for the extension, 230 to 300. Crazy giant upside potential on Shopify. ALBT, that's a dumpster fire. Reverse split. Stay away from that one. Why? You're likely to lose money on that one. SMCX, 2x leverage on SMCI. Some gurus in the background were joking. One of them said, I expect SMCI to double from here. And another one said, yeah, that sounds like the kind of opportunity that Enron was presenting. It made me laugh. This could get delisted at any point. And if you're going to play with this, control your risk. All right. There is resistance right there. Retrace is very possible, and delisting for indefinitely another possibility. So SMCX is 2x leverage on that. So take all those moves and multiply them. DXYZ, this another dangerous piece of stuff. It's probably going to come back down eventually. Whenever it finishes doing whatever we're doing over here, I do kind of just wild E-wagon it, educated wild guessing. You can make up the A. Resistance somewhere in there before we turn down again. Just E-wagon right there. FUTU, probably hitting the roadmap line. Probably hit the roadmap line. MTN, Vail Mountain Resorts. Man, I thought vacation and everything was good. That certainly doesn't look very good right there. It's like they never recovered from COVID almost. Whew. I shorted this in COVID. Grab that down. Now, this could be a measured bounce. Like, this very well could be a measured bounce. We get back above the roadmap line and kind of hold it really good. Real good. Doesn't even matter. Like, log mode, not log mode. Looks good both ways. Up around the 400 area. If you want to buy something with a long-term hold and a long-term outlook to probably double, that one's an opportunity. Now, if we break down lower low, I'd bail. So that's like what, a $30 risk for a $200 potential upside? Not bad. Not bad right there. Nail. Sitting on the roadmap line. If we can break above that prior pop there, 200 on the upside. MSTX. And it's just leveraged MSTR again. Rolling on down. Snow. Watch for the gap. If we get into that gap, we might come all the way back down to the roadmap line very quickly. That's kind of my, again, the EWAG, educated wild guess. We may do that. UPC. Another dumpster fire. Don't mess with this stuff. Just don't risk your money. DG. I'm not sure where the bottom is. Golly. I mean, possibly right in, we're just a little bit lower here, around 64, but if we get below that, this thing could take a beating. Got this low, got this high. Let's put it right there. If it's not a log mode thing, I don't know. I'll put an alert there. I'd be interested in picking some up if it holds that and bounces. Come back and look at it later. FSLR. Jump back down. This has been pretty rough. Still pretty rough. Looks like we're going lower. GCO. Nice pop. Some of these are difficult. Like, this is really difficult for me to get excited about with that giant, crazy move. But look at this. That was a potential measured bounce. Potential for this to go up here. Been underperforming. Potential for it to go. TCOM, trip.com, potential for that little extension up to 75. Cold, natural gas, popping, ultra short natural gas. That means natural gas was pulling back if this was on the poppers list. And G1, exclamation points. Just grind in the box. We pop back out, get back above that 335 area. Probably going up to at least, I think we're going to at least $4. We may stop at 360, 370, but I think we're going up to $4. If we could pop back above 335. LABU. Man, talk about choppy, volatile. Just sitting in the middle. Everybody freaking out because of whatever RFK, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just right back in the middle. Nothing. This is so dangerous. It's 3x leverage on biotech. W. Wayfair never has what I need. Big resistance up here, and we've got a downtrend cooking right now. So resistance at 63, and then I'm at 83, and poked out the bottom. Cautious, 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 cautious. This is giant caution. Plus, we're hanging right at the roadmap line. If we don't break above that prior high, it can go lower in a hurry. BABA, below the roadmap line. Anything below the roadmap line is bearish. Watch out for a bigger flush. ALV. And again, anything below the roadmap line is bearish. Watch out for the bigger flush. Down to that target zone. Down there around 85. NTES. Downtrend highs. That's down. We're in a downtrend. Watch out for the drop to 70. DEO. Diego. This could have bottomed. Resistance up here at 130. Potential to have bottomed. Not sure. Not sure at all. It doesn't give me a warm fuzzy. Anyway, Oris. Oriental Rise. I think this showed up yesterday, and I said, watch out. It's going to come back down. Well, guess what? Came back down. ZSPC. Not enough to do jack squat with. BTCT. Watch out for that to come back down. This just has that look like we're going to do it. IoT. Probably going to come back down. Probably going to come back down. Yang. This is China Bear with 3x leverage. Has a reverse split, so be careful. This one tends to trend down over time. Declining asset, as I call it. If you don't understand what that means or don't know what it means, don't trade this. There's a few things that are declining assets, like UNG, like UVXY, like VXX, like Yang, and Yen 2. I mean, the bull and the bear are both negative on China, so be careful playing those. GCT, choppy sideways, Giga Cloud, not really indicating anything. This is down from the highs back in March and lower high from the high back here. Giant downtrend line. And we're below the roadmap line. Be careful. That may just flush. SWBI getting a little smackdown today. Not my favorite. This is an opportunity to buy. Of course, if we could break back below the low over here at 8, game over. This is a deep retrace. And I don't know what the news is. Don't really care. I'm in it for a long period of time, like 10, 15, 20 years right now. Unless we break back below the lows, then I'll reevaluate it. It's one of those long-term plays. You may be like, well, I don't like pullbacks in long-term plays. Don't trade long-term plays. So it's just part of the game here. TGLS did a large pullback right here. Freaked a lot of people out. They're riding along with me. Now, look at where we are. I got in back here. 11,623 is when I got in. Look at that. Can't make any money on shares. Yeah, you can. That's almost a triple. With more upside to go. Beautiful. All right, bonus for the day. I never made it that far, unfortunately. So let's go pop into Discord and take a look. Looky. What do we got cooking? Daily chart setups. Let's pull it over. Back in, mark red and jump to today. Cool. There we go. Today had CIX and IMTM. So looking at these, that one not great. This one not the most bangingest. But out of the two, this would be the better one. Not sure I like it super great, but IMTM target 41.65, dollar upside, 70% win rates. That's almost a break even on 10 trades since 2015. But this one, the one above it is negative. 0.96 is a negative profit expectancy with 25 trades since 1998. So that's definitely not one that, I mean, it may work out, but it's just not one that over the long term set up to make money. So there you go. IMTM potential. I don't know that I would take it. Just look at it really quickly. This high, this low. It's reasonable. It's a nice uptrend. It had a big pullback, a couple big pullbacks recently. It's iShares International Momentum. That'll be the upside right there. 41.65. And stop 37. $1 below the low right there. It's not horrible. Actually, the chart looks really good. Really nice looking chart. Statistics not great, but that looks like a pretty nice looking chart. All right. That's what we got. Bias for the day. Still looking long. I mean, it's like we're going to grind it higher after the pullback overnight. Watch out for those levels. And this high, this low. Yeah, we're already topping out here, potentially. 61.15. NQ already pushing on up. I'd like to see it fully hit that 22,000 area up there, but doesn't have to. All right. There you go. That's the list for the day. That's the bias for the day. I'll be back Monday, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time. As always, same bat time, same bat channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you come see me. Set an alert on your phone, something. Come see me at least once a week. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again on Monday.